Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino in the house. And yes, we will be talking and doing a review for the Nas Magic album. This is something separate altogether. Now, Tybo Ho. Yeah, Jay-Z and Nas. The two brothers have shown the whole world how that you don't have to be violent to come to in your beef, to come to a resolution and all that. You could do that without taking someone's life, and this was very serious. But from the rap perspective, you know, the battle of words and wits, when you look at who is the better MC or who is the MC you feel didn't have the prowess of the other, they are two different MCs. Altogether, what they are aligned to are different, but they come from the same environment. Now, here's the thing about Ether. When Jay dropped his takeover, he was alluding to the Super Ugly song already. He's letting him know, like, if you say something, it's getting ready to come. Nas is strategic. He already knew what Jay was coming with. So he already went to the magazines and told the source what the whole situation was. So before Jay could play his move, Nas told the whole world that Jay was alluding to his baby mother. Now, anybody who didn't realize the situation, Nas already said, I'm broken up with her. We're not dating. So I don't know how he thinks that's going to hurt me. Now, Nas went to the magazines and downplayed that. Jay used that as his ace in the hole, as that was gonna win me the battle. So if Nas come back with a song, I got this. And sure enough, Nas came back with Ether. And when the Irv Gotti song, Super Ugly, produced by Irv Gotti, and they were up in Baseline Studios, like Dame said, celebrating. Hot 97 was like Jay-Z's home. So when Nas went up there, he only went to Hot 97 because of Flex. Flex was like, yo, Nas, you gotta come through, man. It's Funk Flex. So for Flex, he came through. Then he had to apologize for Super Ugly. Super Ugly made Ether 10 times better. That's how powerful the song Ether. It got more gas when he made Super Ugly. So Dane was right. He never should have made the record. He was so off his square. He was so disturbed about what happened. It knocked him out the spot quick. He knocked himself out. He came back too quick. He didn't let nothing build up. And they're gonna be, oh, Jay finna come. He came back too quick. It's like when you get knocked down fast and you jump up real quick and you ain't letting the knockdown take its effect and you still buzzed. That's how Jay was. He didn't realize how much damage it did to him. He didn't let it process. He was so just speechless by saying it was too far. He was so disturbed because he didn't know how deep that song went with the betrayal. See, the thing is, Nas knew things about Jay that he said in Ether that Jay can believe Nas had gotten that much information. Now, at that time, Jaz-O and Jay-Z wasn't seeing eye to eye. So when that happened, it was a difference of, okay, I see what's happening here. Everybody was coming at Jay-Z. But Jazz O's situation was left, and then everybody said, oh, that's how Nas got all that information on Jay. He got it from Jazz. So Jay wasn't trusting Jazz, who they felt was disgruntled about what was going on with business, related situations. Now, Jay is more hurt because he's like, he don't know how much Nas know. But when he came out with Super Ugly and it didn't have the response he thought he was gonna get, that made it even worse. That made Ether 10 times more powerful. Ether became more powerful and gained more momentum once Nas and Jay went and did their thing and Super Ugly came out as flat as it did. It was so flat. This dude was using lines that Cormega, because Cormega was his source. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sign Cormega," and he was over there rubbing shoulders with Cormega because Cormega had problems with Nas, but Mega is cool with Mobb Deep. So now you got a problem with Mega. You know what I'm saying? So he was gonna help Cormega with his situation at Def Jam. That was Jay's plan. But Jay was never going to help Cormega out. The whole thing is Jay was using Cormega to get information on Nas. So Cormega had about 15 disc records on Nas. Cormega could drop a mixtape called F Nas. That's how many disc songs he had written on Nas. And it was just way too many. Nas could say one thing about him in a line and it would disturb Mega to make 25 songs. So he went ahead and did the unthinkable. He started partnering with Jay and all of this stuff and doing all this foolery. And then he got cool with Nature, who dissed him on the album. And him and Nature was cool. Then Nature moved out to Marcy. So now all these people that hate Nas or blaming Nas for them not blowing up is over there. And Jay did nothing for them. He did absolutely nothing. He didn't help Mega in his situation at Def Jam. Mega got played. He played himself, rather. And Jay was like, this is about all he was going to do for him. And when Super Ugly and that play didn't work, he was caught out there. And when you caught out there, that means you just grasping for words. You don't even know what to say. Jay-Z had about 4 or 5 verses about Nas. Like he was so off his square. He wanted to set up a celebrity boxing match. He was so off his square and out of character. It was like it made Ether even more powerful. It's like, damn, Jay out here bad, man. That Ether is something else. Like that just made Ether way more dangerous. That song it was growing more and more each night. When Jay did something stupid, he come back with the people talking. I hear the people talking. Breathing's a privilege. Don't you know? We undefeated and don't you know? I'm better with vowels, throw in the towel. I'm a man of principle, damn near invincible. In my right mind, soon as my soul aligned. Didn't know before, now my role's defined. You can't take control of what's mine. Come and get me. I mean, then he gets to the end, he just start crying. I ain't gotta make another record in my life. I'm already where I'm supposed to be. Blueprint 2 coming soon. And then the Blueprint 2 tanked. So it's a situation where you're looking at all of these artists who had these ideas, who had these notions. They got all of this direction, they got all of this character, all of this flavor, but they keep coming to the same solution, the same outcome. Now, Irv Gotti, this is how weak Irv is. Irv is the biggest instigator in the world. Irv loved Nas. Loved him. Met him and Ja Rule when they was doing the backstage. They was finally coming up, and Ja Rule was having his first album. He ran into Nas at my God, where is that? Was it the Tunnel? It might have been the Tunnel, but they ran into Nas, and they was the biggest Nas. My man Nas, Esco. And Ja Rule was a young broke dude, didn't have an album out yet, was working on his album, talking about all this stuff. This is 98. He was on tour doing his thing, talking about he finna drop his album. He's got all this stuff going on. He was doing his features with Jay. Irv was producing, talking about working with him and all these things. Man, I want to work with you, Nas, one day. And he was like, yeah, ew, word. So, down the line, this is the man that made Super Ugly. You could imagine how Jay feel when he produced this song, put a battery in Jay back so he could jump out and answer right away. Irv Gotti made him do Super Ugly like that. He put a battery in Jay back. Oh, you gotta get him back. Oh, no, you can't let the streets have that. You gotta let him have it. And Jay already knew he was gonna play his ace in the hole. Was that he was with Carm? That's his ace in the hole. So if you say, okay, that's my ace in the hole, I'm with Carm. So, all right, that's your ace in the hole. You with Carm. So, okay, what's next now? What you got after that once that don't work? Because soon as he played that, like, I got your girl, that didn't work for Jay. It was like, man, that's his baby mom's. What kind of crab thing is that? Everybody was like, oh, you just a snake? You just trying to be like Nas. You trying to ask his baby mom, and then the baby moms weren't on board. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like she was with you and dissing Nas. She was on Nas' side dissing you. You know what I'm saying? And you making sneak diss records on Nas. Is that your chick? So you been insinuating it. Nas already knew what time it was. He was telling you that on the Nostradamus album. So the beef was already lit. Nobody knew except for people that knew hip hop. That's why all these other dudes be ripping off my video. They go watch the truth behind my video, then go make their video like they know what the hell they talking about. And it's like, okay, y'all got the all dressed up, y'all got the clips and everything now, and y'all wanna put the pictures and video up and make it look all pretty and try to act like your video is the one that got it cracking when you gonna have no idea what the hell you was talking about. You ain't know none of that existed till you heard me say it. But they want to come out with their video. Because we knew what time it was. We're into hip hop, so we understood what the whole situation was. Shoot. That Come and Get Me song was real. On both sides. You make hot songs, but she know you steal from me. Who ill is me? How wild on haters in album 3. Next level, I take y'all chumps to see 3D. That's because the album was supposed to be a 3D music video. And all of a sudden, they put out some glasses in some of the magazines. And the video come out and it's no 3D. And it was like, come on, man. This supposed to have been futuristic. And we was changing the game. And y'all screwed me up. Once again, dealing with Colombia. This is just how they do business. It's always sketchy. The street's disciple, Nas. He was the one, the prodigal son. Everybody else, they can't get that love. You know what I'm saying? And Jay could never really get that love from those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you came up through like with a hand meal. Nas was the voice. You know what I'm saying? Next to Guru, who was the voice, they passed that torch to Nas. Nas was the guy that was in everybody's crib, the youngin' that was coming up, and this is the one. They walked him in to get a record deal. Jay, they didn't see. He went to every office to get a record deal. They didn't see talent. They didn't see his skill. They didn't see this guy could bring us to the next level. He didn't come from the core of hip hop. He came up from the drug dealing world of hustling. And really, all right, I'm gonna be honest. He got out the game because dude's finna kill him. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Jay got out of the game because he's finna get taken out the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let y'all know. It ain't probably never gonna get told to y'all. We'll probably talk a little bit more about this on the Patreon, but he's about to go. You know what I'm saying? It was very clear. When he talk about the 6 shots close range, never touch me, divine intervention, that's what got his butt up out the game. So he can say what he want, We heard it all before. I'm just giving y'all the real spill so y'all can know it ain't nothing fake. This is just real talk. This is how it was going on back then. People knew, like this is a real situation. Um, it was what mattered, everything. Dog, when Super Ugly came out, no DJs was even spinning it. It got spun on Hot 97. They played it like trying to force people to like the song. People were calling in. They tried to say, all right, well, who you think won? Jay-Z or Ether? I mean, Jay-Z, Super Ugly or Ether? Man, they was like, that Ether is a monster. Jay got to the point where he was like, forget that. We're going to flip it. And he going to come with something else. Because he see the people didn't like it. He had a song that was coming out on some soundtrack of Myth Bleak, the Marcyville, either state property or something, called Marcyville. Now, he was going at J.O. Felony. J.O. Felony was going at Jay-Z at the time. So he was dealing with J.O. Felony. Him and Memphis Bleak was doing that. So Marcyville was a shot at J.O. Felony. J.O., you're not a felon. You a misdemeanor. Y'all do was hurt. What he's saying? Y'all do was stun and it's hurt. It's not working. You made a bad situation worse. And you want to see me out this game like that. You want to stop in the game. The game's hot. And up you gonna try it. You can't deny yourself $1. It's the rock. It's Allah. Beef ain't nothing to a bull. I comes in, the orders come out to kick in your doors. Wave on the 4-4. Don't do me no more. It was a J.O. Felony diss, Then it turns into a Nas diss. He comes with a whole nother new verse. The J.O. Felony verse is removed. And now it's all about Nas. Whatever son do, I do better. Way more lyrics, way more cheddar. Catch me if you can, it's the gingerbread man. Keep pumping them up, I will end your bread drain. People trying to capitalize off whole, but you don't understand. I seen the demons inside of your soul. People's are dreaming to sell with a soul. Fiends are fiending to hell with a hold. I just know what I know. I'm respected all across the globe, although I'm from. I'm like, this dude is searching. He's searching for a line. He's searching for something that will get him off the ropes and get him off the canvas. Then Cameron. Cameron's on the scene. So now Cameron's got his single coming out, his old boy. Boy, boy, oh boy. Jay-Z decides he wants to drop a verse for the old boy song. Now, and Cam cut the verse. You don't cut a Jay-Z verse if you can't run. If it can be doo-doo, snot, doo-doo, you don't cut a Jay-Z verse. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I couldn't believe Cam just because Cam said it. Man, that verse was whack. Man, it was just terrible. All he kept saying was like, yo, I am the man boy, holler at your boy. You know, it was like he would rap till the hook come in. You ain't on my level, boy, you just a little boy. You know, it was like, oh boy. You know, it was just terrible. And he was like, B, you don't want to put this out. He cut that off. So Cam did a verse with Petey Crack or whatever, and they cut Cam verse off Petey's album. As soon as he came in there, Jay was like, cut him off. Just pettiness, you know, just the pettiness of Jay. And that's when Petey realized, damn, they got a problem with Cam? I thought we was all fam. So, you know, it was two different units and two different groups moving in their own ways. Harlem was in the building, the whole thing. So Jay had a lot of pressure on his head. You know, rest in peace. Like, I never should have dealt with Nas. I messed up. Yeah, you messed up in hindsight because you chasing fame. You think of, oh, this is a good look. This is going to be big. This is huge. Nas and Rule. Queens, baby. Man, Jay looked at you like, you stupid best. So when 50 was blowing up and Jay did the partnership with him with Reebok and they rapping together doing the commercial, yeah, it's good business. It was good business. After he was coming out the Irv, there 50 was tearing them apart. Jay saw it coming. He told him, y'all better get y'all albums out because this dude finna come out here and he ain't playing no games. But Fifth was coming for Jay. He ain't finna worry about the minions. He coming for Jay. That's who he was coming for. So when Jay dropped the Black Album, it dropped the same day. 50 Cent put the album out the same day to go up against Jay-Z. The Beg for Mercy, the G-Unit album. They were selling neck and neck. The G-Unit album and the Jay-Z Black album. I remember I bought both of them on the first day. They came out, I copped both. Yeah, but Nas changed the game. Nas got on the joint with Little John, Quick to Bow Down, on the Braveheart album. He just dropped a line every now and then just to let Jay know, I got you. And he would keep Jay right in that box. First of all, this is Nas, I'm a Braveheart veteran. And you already know who I'm better than. Done. That's it. That's all he had to say, and it was over. That's all they said. They was like, all the grimy dudes who never really was dealing with Nas was bumping that. They was all into your Lil Jon. Now they got Nas. so they was, when Godson album came out, moms had passed away. So the whole theme of the album changed to a more peaceful, introspective type album than what it was, going to become. So when people was ready, oh, Nas finna come hard. Because at that time, Cam and them was coming at him. So when they came out with their album, it was not what a lot of people expected. The new Nas people who only came over after Ether, they was, oh man, Nas disappointed, man. He let me down. He didn't come like he came on Ether. So they was expecting Stillmatic Part 2. They was waiting on that energy on the album. But these weren't your usual Nas fans. These casuals that jumped on the boat because of the Jay-Z Nas thing. So they didn't understand what was going on with the album. Mom passing away and had an effect on them creatively. Certain songs were moved from the album, like the Crab in the Barrel song that was removed. A lot of songs was recorded and some destroyed and never came and saw the light of day. He just decided, nah, I ain't doing that one. Yeah, Jay, same thing. It's just weird. Every time somebody got a Dipset this song, it just end up something like they just go another path or another direction. So yeah, I mean, it never ceased to amaze me from people. People get real crazy when it comes to hip hop. If they 10 toes down on who they listen to, Jay Z fans, those all these like, especially in Chicago Jay Z fans, these people that never liked Jay a day in their life, they didn't know of Jay Z to Volume 2. And then they love Big Pimpin', and all of a sudden you can't tell them nothing about Jay Z. They know all about Jay. And you've been there for the whole ride. And they trying to tell you about Jay Z. And I'm like, are you out your mind? You gonna talk to me about Jay? Okay. You got some albums to go back, buddy. You got some homework to do before you tell me about him. Now it's like I thought he was gonna be like one of the like MCs that like I ain't talking about like commercial wise. I'm talking about from a creative standpoint after listening to Reasonable Doubt. After RD, we never got that Jay again. After I would say Volume 1, he just it just changed completely. Volume 2 was like, I give up. What songs y'all want me to do? Or what y'all want me to do? I've tried it that way, and now I'm gonna try it y'all way. If you listen to Volume 2, that's a Rough Riders album. That is a DMX was the hottest thing out, so that was like the Rough Riders album. Swiss beats and all that. Right. DMX, Ja Rule, they the ones got Jay hot. And none of these dudes think straight. None of them do. Oh, we gonna put them where they belong. We'll put them right where they belong. Blow them up. we'll blow him through the roof. No, it wasn't really on like that. Like nobody was really trying to do violence with each other. It was a lyrical thing. It was people gonna know you gotta beat Nas lyrically. Would he shoot Nas? I mean, I believe he would have. Jay is petty like that. He's like a spoiled child. He shot his brother over a doggone chain. So imagine what he would do for somebody else bruising his ego and embarrassing him like that. His brother still ran the Jazz O house. And he didn't do no time for that. His brother didn't snitch on him. Didn't say nothing. Oh man. I know most of these cats don't get it, man. They don't understand this game. They don't understand that it's rules. And people want to be, respected. And when you cross the line of disrespect, and you think the fans could screaming and the record sales and the MTV appearances and all this that make you feel like you controlling it, but hip hop is from the core. If the core MCs and the people that's right there understand that this dude is the one that we selected, this is our champion of the streets. We don't care about what the radio say or MTV and all the casuals. We care about what real hip hop got to say. And Jay couldn't beat that. He's like, I can't beat that. I just can't. I just got to give it up. Like, I'm just not even going to fight it no more. Because ain't no way I could win. They are not going to allow me to be better than him. No, none of these other MCs that's supposed to be like the gatekeepers of this, they are not. They don't care how many records you sell, how much diamonds you buy. You ain't gonna be better than Nas unless you can outperform him. You outrhyme him. You beat him lyrically, and you have not touched that yet. And he's tried, and it sounds awful. It's almost like, good lord, he tried, but you not Nas. It's just Nas is really good in his element. You good at what you do. Just stay in y'all lanes. Like I don't need Nas doing a drill record. That's just you know what I'm saying. Nas is good in his element. Stay in your element. Now I am out this time. So love, peace, and hair grease. Your boy Carcino won.